Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to our online class Ekalaiva. Standard 12, Subject Economics, Lesson 5, Monetary Economics. In this concept map, I have already told what are all we are going to learn in this lesson. Monetary Economics. Nothing but we are going to study about money. The synopsis of this lesson. So far we have completed introduction of money, monetary economics, meaning and definitions of money, the evolution of money and the functions of money. Today we are going to see the topic supply of money. Before that, let us recall the introduction of monetary economics. It functions as a medium of exchange, store of value, and the unit of account. We learnt about the meaning of money. Then we have seen some of the definitions which were given by Crowther and Walker. Then, in the evolution of money, how it started from barter to cryptocurrency, we have seen in detail. Evolution of money started with barter system, then metallic standard, gold standard, silver standard, paper currency, plastic money, and cryptocurrency. Then we have completed learning about primary functions, secondary functions, contingent functions, and other functions. Under primary functions, there are two subheadings: money as a medium of exchange, money as a measure of value. Under secondary functions, there are three subheadings: money as a store of value, money as a standard of deferred payments, money as a means of transferring purchasing power. Under contingent functions, there are four subheadings: basis of the credit system, money facilitate distribution of national income, money helps to equalize marginal utilities and marginal productivities, and money increases productivity of capital. Under other functions, there are three subheadings: money helps to maintain repayment capacity, money represents generalized purchasing power, then money gives liquidity to capital. Today, we are going to study about supply of money. Money supply means the total amount of money in an economy. It refers to the amount of money which is in circulation in an economy at any given time. Money supply plays a crucial role in the determination of price level and interest rates. Money supply, viewed at a given point of time, is a stock, and given over a period of time, it is a flow. Meaning of money supply. In India, currency notes are issued by the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, and coins are issued by the Ministry of Finance, Government of India, GOI. Besides these, the balance is a savings or current account deposits which are held by the public in commercial banks is also considered as money. The currency notes are called fiat money and legal tenders. What do you mean by fiat money? It is a paper money that a government declares to be a legal tender. Legal tender is legally, which is according to the law which has come out. This is the symbol of Reserve Bank of India, RBI. Money supply is a stock variable. Reserve Bank of India publishes information for four alternative measures of money supply, namely M1, M2, M3, and M4. M1 is equal to the currency, the coins, and the demand deposits. M2 is equal to M1 plus savings deposits with the post office savings banks. M3 is equal to M2 plus time deposits of all commercial and cooperative banks. M4 is equal to M3 plus total deposits with the post offices. Are you able to understand? What is M1? M1 is nothing but the currency, the coins, and the demand deposits. M2 is M1 plus savings deposits with the office saving banks. Okay, M1 is nothing but currency, coins, and demand deposits. M2 is M1, that means currency, coins, demand deposits, plus saving deposits with the post office savings banks. M3 is M2 plus time deposits of all commercial and cooperative banks. That is, all the three together, M1 and M2 will come under plus M3. M3 is time deposits of all commercial and cooperative banks. So M3 is equal to currency, coins, demand deposits, saving deposits with post office savings banks, time deposits of all commercial and cooperative banks. M4 is equal to M3 plus total deposits with the post offices. That is, M4 is currency, coins, and demand deposits, saving deposits with the post office savings banks, time deposits of commercial and cooperative banks, and total deposits with the post offices. Are you clear? M1 and M2 are called narrow money. Clear? And M3 and M4 are known as broad money. The gradations are in the decreasing order of liquidity. What is meant by narrow money? Narrow money is otherwise it is called as M1 and M2. That M1 and M2, the institutional accounts, repurchase agreements, and the money market accounts, which are usable as the means of exchange, especially the bills and the coins, but also some bank balances they will be going on checking. That is why it is called as narrow money. And M3 and M4 are known as broad money. That is, it is an assessment of all the amount of M1 and M2 which was done by M3 and M4. That is also called large denomination of repurchase of agreements, institutional money market accounts. It is an assessment made by M3 and M4. Okay, by the M3 and M4 on M1 and M2. That is why it is called as broad money. Now they have divided M1 and M2 are also known as narrow money, and M3 and M4 are also known as broad money. M1 and M2 is coins, currencies, demand deposits, saving deposits with the post office savings banks. M3 and M4 is time deposits of commercial banks and cooperative banks, and total deposits with the post offices. Okay. Anyhow, it will be assessment will be made by M3 and M4 on M1 and M2. Clear? Currency symbol. The new symbol designed by D. Udayakumar, a postgraduate of IIT Bombay, was finally selected by the Union Cabinet on 15th July 2010. Now we are in July completed, August, okay, 2020, that is 10 years before. The new symbol is an amalgamation of Devanagari Ra and the Roman letter R without the stem. The symbol of India, rupee, came into the use on 15th July 2010 after America, Britain, Japan, Europe, Union. India is the fifth country to accept a unique currency symbol. What do you mean by amalgamation? Amalgamation is nothing but more than two or two concern joined together to form one. Here, Devanagari Ra and Roman R both are joined together, then made one Ra. That is the symbol of Government of India. That is rupees, right? Determinants of money. Currency deposit ratio, reserve deposit ratio, cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio. What are the determinants? There are four determinants of money supply: CDR, RDR, CRR, and SLR. We can tell it in short form also. That can be asked in 1 marks also, so be ready to know the expansion of it. CDR, currency deposit ratio. It is the ratio of money held by the public in currency to that they hold in the bank deposits. RDR, reserve deposit ratio. Reserve money consists of two things. 1. Wallet cash in banks. 2. Deposits of commercial bank with RBI. This will come under reserve deposit ratio. Third one, cash reserve ratio, CRR. It is the fraction of the deposits that the banks must keep with RBI. Fourth one, statutory liquidity ratio, SLR. It is the fraction of total demand and the time deposits of the commercial banks in the form of specified liquid assets. Quantity theories of money. So far, we have completed money supply, RBI symbol, Government of India symbol, then variables of money, M1, M2, M3, and M4, and then determinants of money supply. Tomorrow we'll see the quantity theories of money. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.